أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. In our first session, we spoke about the origins of contemporary Islamic theology, and I did mention that there are three distinguishing personalities in the Shia world who have tackled contemporary Islamic theological discussions, and I do recommend the participants to become familiar with their works. Allama Tabatabai, Shaheed al-Sadr and Shaheed Mutahari, Radwanullah Ta'ala alayhim ajma'een. And extending from that, you'll also become familiar with the more contemporary or living scholars, we can say, that have spoken about issues to do with Islamic theology in the modern or contemporary sense. Whether it be Ayatollah Ja'far Subhani, whether it be Ayatollah Misbah Yazdi, whether it be Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli, whether it be other teachers or well-known scholars who have written in this field. And you would, of course, feel that sense of depth and strength when it does come to these religious Islamic scholars speaking about contemporary issues with the eye of traditional Islam. And of course that's very important, because the approach could be different from one scholar to another, whether it be a scholar coming from Islamic Seminary, the Hawza, or whether it be a scholar coming from an academic background, or whether it be someone who has brought both worlds together. Shaheed Mutahari is a wonderful example for that, bringing both the academic, secular kind of education and also the Hawza religious seminary education. The important point here is, I believe personally, which is why I'm so passionate about this particular subject, is that we are able to feel related to these topics, because on a practical level they are topics that are being discussed and spoken about, and that's why it's something that you are able to feel about as well. So you're able to relate to it. You know, there are things that you're going to be discussing at school, at university, at home, with your friends, you know, in social media, in the whole form of you adopting a worldview and trying to learn about your ideological belief. These kind of challenging thoughts are going to be presented to you, and therefore it's very important for one to be able to equip themselves, you know, with relevant information, with a correct understanding. And that's why we really need to invest into this. You know, we need to put some time as practicing Muslims. Yes, we need to stay unbiased. Yes, we need to be truthful and honest in our appreciation of the topic, in our understanding of all of the arguments, but at the same time allow it to further contribute into the strengthening of our faith as practicing Muslims, inshallah. All of us are as such. And that's why tackling these ideological challenges in today's society is very, very important. And we do live in a society that has different levels and different capacities and different understanding and different views and different systems of belief that this society might have in comparison to that society. But we living now in this global world like a mini village, you know, with this civilization that we are in, and with globalization and everything else, you know, we are now able to become familiar with the belief systems of those who probably once upon a time we didn't even know about. And so, these are of course a part of the many challenges that we might have as well, because familiarizing oneself with a new system is of course important and also empowering as well, as long as I am ready, as long as I know that, well, this is the particular stance that I have, that I need to have, that I should have, and everything else that comes along with this. One perfect example is if you are born into a certain civilization, a certain country, a certain culture, a certain family, are you forced to stay as such, or do you have control of your surroundings? Do we believe in social predestination or al-jabr al-ijtima'i? If you, for example, were born a Muslim, does that mean that there is no merit in your form of belief because, well, you were born a Muslim? If you were born a kafir, you would be a kafir. If you were born a Muslim, you're a Muslim. So you're not doing anyone a favor, you're not even doing yourself a favor. Or is there choice in all of this? Even though you were born poor, you can still become rich. Even though you were born rich, you can still become poor. Even though you were born a Muslim, you can become something else. Even though you were born into an atheist family or a non-Muslim family, you can still become Muslim. And with all the other examples that we are able to give, which is very much related to fate and destiny and compulsion and determinism and predestination, or all of these other things that we are able to speak about. Do we submit into our surroundings? Do we follow our surroundings? Do we challenge our surroundings? Are we to accept whatever is around us? These events that happen, do we have control over it? Do we not have control over it? Is there the element of culture a part of our lives as far as our ideological thought is concerned? Or is it culture? Or is it the environment? Or is it the biological component? Please, all of these things that I'm mentioning are very, very important, and hopefully they will be keys for you, the participant, to be able to look into. What makes you who you are? Your environment, your family upbringing, the culture that you are born into, the history that you have, your the biological component. What is it ultimately that makes you who you are, gives you the status that you have? Now, if you have choice, if you don't have choice, these are all fundamental arguments. And of course, you wish to obtain this information, you want to make sure that you are able to gain something on it. That's why knowledge is so powerful, and knowledge is so influential, because we need to understand what is the cause behind me being who I am today. Is it cultural? Is it environmental? Is it historical? Is it biological? Ultimately, I need to understand that, well, this is all based on something that I've studied in philosophy in relation to causality. And in causality, we have, which is in Arabic called illa, we have the complete cause, al-illa at-tamma, and we have the incomplete cause, which is al-illa al-naqasa. And with the illa al-naqasa, which means it is only a part of the cause of what made you who you are. Your history, your biological component, your culture, or something like that. And that's why talking about this in the very get-go of how we are able to look at Islamic theology is very, very important, because it's wrong for us to start off our mindset that, well, we don't have any choices in what we say or what we do or what we think of or anything else. So what's the whole point of us putting effort into establishing strong theological grounds in our practical belief as Muslims, or whether there is such thing as social predestination or things like that. And so if we say that, for example, Inna Dina Indallah al-Islam, the religion in the eyes of God, the religion is Islam, then why can we so confidently allow other people to be missed out? You know, why are we trying to monopolize what kind of religion God has? What about the atheist? What about someone who is a very good person, a kind person, a generous person, and anything else, but they don't believe in religion altogether, or they follow another religion, or they follow another sect? You know, you're Shi'i, and that's how you were born. There's nothing else for you to say about that. You're Sunni, that's how you are. There's nothing you can say about that, etc., with all the other examples that can be given. And this is exactly why we need to understand that when it does come to, failing in life, or picking up yourself in life, or knowing about whether you're going this direction or that direction, or anything else, or even wanting to make improvements, which is exactly why believing in that kind of determinism or predestination in social life, or you not being able to change your fate or your destiny, and you are coerced, in that compulsion sense of being who you are, then there's no motivation that is going to drive you to seek freedom, to make changes, to try to improve or anything else, because you're just going to feel let down. You are going to drag yourself down, and it's not going to change any of your circumstances. So if we were to say that the family environment is what chooses for you who you are, then of course that's going to be very, very critical. We said that this could be one of the components, but not the main component. And that's why standing against the wave is important at times. Challenging the status quo is very important at times, not for the sake of being just a person who likes to object and criticize and become a rebellious person, become a rebel, but in order for a person to through critical thinking, a person to be able to thrive in their abundancy of knowledge and information, and also be able to connect to the origins of their Creator. And that's why decision making is very important. Pursuing correct information is very important. Contemplating on reliable sources is very, very important. You can sketch your life and plan your future, and you're able to stand firm against all of these ideological storms that are challenging us in today's society, and also hopefully be able to get somewhere as far as all of that is concerned. And that's why it's very important for us to understand what is good, what is bad, what are the origins of good and bad. Where is the correct criteria for knowing about responsibility and duty and all of these other things, which are things that inshallah we're going to be speaking about in our next episode, inshallah. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi tahirin.